Okay, so this is D2AutoLogin. Um, First thing to see is reload settings, and basically this is just in case you've set anything in the XML file and you don't want to close and then restart D2AutoLogin. Um, yeah, so relogin, I'll go over that later. Next we have copy all games. This will take all of the games in your status window and it'll copy them to your clipboard so that you can paste them into a text file or wherever you want. Kill D2 windows. I'll illustrate how this works later, but basically it just shows all the windows that you can kill, and then you can click go and it'll just kill them for you. And then here's further filters, so you can kill only the games that are in-game and the ones that are not in-game. Here we have the realm, so I can easily change it to east, and I can launch a window and it will be on east already. Next I'm going to go over the window bank. So as you can see here, we've got the path. It's a pretty simple window. It shows up here the number of windows you've got set up. Okay, so the first thing is the path. Usually for this setup we'll be using D2 multi. Later on you'll learn about proxy cap and how you kind of require to use D2 multi. The first argument, windowed, low quality, cache fix is necessary if you want to run multiple windows on BattleNet. No sound. Change the title window to, the window of the title of the window. Then the MPQ file for the CD key. So basically, you can select multiple things like this, and you can drag them up and down like that, or you can just do one. Then you can hold shift and click one of these buttons and it'll bring it all the way to the bottom, or you can press shift and click the top one and it'll go all the way to the top. So you can just go ahead and delete any of them that you want. When you add a new one, you want to make sure that your default window properties are set to whatever you want, and then click OK. And then when you add a new one, it'll use those properties for the new one that you add, and then you can move it around to wherever you want. Make sure you save after you're done. Next thing, the account bank. Basically similar interface as the window bank. Shows how many accounts you have set up, account name and password. The character position should be 1 through 8. If you set it from 1 to 8, then it will actually make sure it clicks on your character and logs into the lobby. But if you don't, if you set it to 0, then it won't go past the character selection screen, and it'll just sit there waiting for you to select whatever character. Make sure you save after you're done. Next we've got the options. Most of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory except for this stuff, and it has little tool tips over here on the right to help you understand what they do. The timeouts are pretty well set. You should only change them if you have a bad proxy that's taking a long time. The one thing that you might want to change is status update time. This is how often it will update this lower half of the main window down here, and I have it set to 5 seconds because I don't really need this portion of it very much. It just kind of keeps you updated on where the windows are, and it'll take up more CPU usage, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so now what you want to do is you launch your first few windows, or all of them if you wanted, and then you select shift click a bunch of your accounts, and you can log in to them like that, shift click, and it'll only see how I have 3 out of 4. It'll only let you click on the go button once you've gotten all of them highlighted. So then you can go ahead and click go. It'll assign them up here. You can see that I have the counts, and it assigns a window. These two columns here. It'll assign them to these accounts, and that's useful for our relogin feature. I'll go back to that in a second. So down here you can see where they are. If the login failed and there's a realm down or CD key in use, CD key banned, anything pretty much, it'll display that up here, and it'll take the appropriate actions of like closing it or whatever, you know, based on what you have set up here. The time is like the time since it entered the game. So now we go back to the relogin. If you are in game and your internet drops or something like that, and all your characters come out to the welcome screen of Diablo, and you get your internet back, and you want to quickly relog in with the same characters into the same accounts, or sorry, the same windows for the same accounts, then you click relogin, and then it'll just automatically assign the same windows to the same accounts. You can also double click on any of these down here, and it'll automatically open up the correct one. Okay, so here is an example of when I had it running. I had a bunch of games up and from a free walk, and you can see how it shows all the pings and the IP address. See, it's all the same because I was doing a walk, and it shows the time there from when I had joined the game, that particular game, and then on the far right you can see that there weren't any Sojas sold yet, or walk messages.